this offseason?
No. He just threw for the third most passing yards in the season in NFL history. He just led the NFL in passing touchdowns. And, Skip, if you were to win the Super Bowl, you know damn well he coming back for the three-peat. That's what would set him apart. The three-peat? Something that's never been done? So here's a guy that had won 8 Super Bowls, coming back for a chance to win 9, and the 9th would be on a three-peat. Brady's not going anywhere. He's having too much fun. He enjoys it. Like I said, his dad said they're going to have to drag him off the field. And I felt this, and over the last couple of years, Skip, barring a substantial injury, I don't see him just walking away. Walking away and doing what? He doesn't want to do what Romo or Aikman does. He doesn't have any really hobbies that you're like, you know what? I can do this. Yeah, I see he got little business ventures popping up, but he can still run those business ventures while he's playing football. He's not a golfer. I don't see him sitting in the carpool lane, Skip. So for me, I don't see it happening. I know these guys know him a lot better than I do, but based on the guy that I played in, I was in the league when he got into the league, and covering him over the last a decade and a half, he's not going anywhere. He wins the Super Bowl, he's coming back for the three-peat because he's like, I'm trying to slam dunk this. I want to leave no doubt 9 Super Bowls with a three-peat to top it off. I might piece y'all out on that one, but I'm not going out after 2.
That is huge coming from a man, Shannon Sharpe, who, when we first started this show in 2016, said it was time for Tom to go home. And you doubled down on that the next year and tripled down the next year, but you have come full circle to say, nope, onward and upward. So now you're to the point where you're saying Brady's going to play at least one more year, and I am right there and have been there all along. At least one more year after this for Brady. Obviously, at some point as he reaches age 45, he's going to have to check his oil more often because you have to make sure your body's holding up, and it will depend on, I'm going to knock on wood right here for him, you have to avoid any sort of major injury. I hate to even say that word, let it leak out of my mouth, but obviously you have to be protected at age 45 to be able to continue to survive in this league. So the point is, echoing your point, Pro Football Focus grades Tom Brady at age 44 this year as the MVP of this league. Obviously, you're all about Aaron Rodgers, and obviously you're going to be right. He is going to win MVP. But Pro Football Focus, on grades from game to game to game, graded Brady higher than Rodgers and says that Brady should be far and away, was their quote in their breakdown, should be the MVP. Well, we could argue that all day long, but the takeaway is Tom knows what he did this year. He had an all-time, we talk about LeBron having the greatest age 37 season. Well, it's almost laughable to say Brady had the greatest 44-year-old season because there's nothing to compare it to. Nobody ever even thought about playing till you're 44. And I hark back to my time at the unless you're a kicker, that's right. I hark back to my time at the Chicago Tribune, and I got to work with one of the great pro football writers ever, Don Pearson. And back in the late 90s, he did a survey of where did the great quarterbacks hit the wall. And his conclusion was, this was like 97, 98. His conclusion was they all hit the wall at 38. That's the magic number where nobody can be remotely what they were in their prime past 38. Well, here's Brady, and you could make a case that he had his best year ever this year. I know 2007 was just off the charts, but seriously, it was at least one of his best seasons this year at age 44. And so he's going to walk away from that. To your point, I agree. I wrote that down. He's having too much fun. And it won't be dictated by the outcomes of these games because he's having too much fun. There's nothing. He likes to play a little off-season golf. We've seen him in the big celebrity matches, Barkley and all that. We get that. But that's not what he wants to do full-time. He doesn't want to be a commentator. He wants to play pro football at the highest level. So I'm reading Rob Ninkovich. He does a great job on ESPN. And he says, his point is, what else does Tom have to prove to anybody? Well, Shannon, what did he have to prove after he won 5 Super Bowls in New England? He just wanted to win 6. And after 6, he just wanted to win 7. And after 7, he wants to win 8. And after 8, if he gets to 8, you know and I know, if he could have a shot at a three-peat, please bring it on. He would be obsessed. He would be out of his mind driven to win 3 in a row. Well, it's just who he is and what he does. And his point is always, why do you try to force me out of here? I'm shattering this mold. I don't want to go. And if I keep playing at this level, why should I go? If he could play at this level till he's 50, why should he stop? Well, in the end, now they're starting, my good friend Christian Fauria up in Boston is speculating, well, they delayed the last episode of Man in the Arena, the Chopra, the Brady that's been on ESPN Plus. They delayed the release of it till April, and it wait a second. Does that mean that will be the final announcement that he's gone?
No. Skip, if he wins the championship, he's not retiring, Skip.
No.
He's not.
I'm sorry.
Skip, and the thing is, well, here's the thing that worked in Brady's favor as opposed to the other guys. They no longer wanted to train at that level. It gets harder and harder to push yourself to the weight room, to go out there and throw, and to keep your body to maintain that level in what it took. And so for Tom still get the enjoyment out of going through the daily process. Yeah, the finished work is what you see on Sunday. But Tom loved the journey in order to get to the destination, which is Sunday. He loves that. I'm not so sure the Marinos, the Elways, the guys that played up until their 38, Skip, I'm not so sure they love that. And it was a different game then, Skip. They were still punishing the quarterback. The quarterback was not under the protection and the assurances that the league has it now. That's not to deny what Tom is doing. But, Skip, I think he said at like 37 or 38, he wanted to play till he was 45, and I thought he was crazy. Because I'm like, bro, you ain't going to want to get up every day and push your body to the limit like that. But he does. He loves everything, the things that normally drive guys away, which is the training, which is the film study, which is the monotony, not the game. Because, Skip, going into the game and you hear the fan, you get the adrenaline going, you're around your guys. But it's the monotony. Yeah. It's the day-to-day. It's the offseason from the training until you get to the game. The guy says, nah, I'm done with this. Enough.
Did you see this week what he told his PR staff? No outside interviews. I will do nothing except the one on, I guess it was on Wednesday, the big session, because I am locked in on the Rams. As we speak, he's probably studying tape. They might be working out right now, but the point is, hey, he's up against, to me, his greatest playoff challenge, because I think he's going to be without his right tackle. He might be without his center. He might be without playoff Lenny. He's down Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown. This is a huge challenge, and he is obsessed with it. And I promise you, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. is having the most fun this week he's ever had.
Yes, he is, and he's the go. I would love to see him keep it going. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.